Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. It's 2 in the afternoon and so I am live and I have some projects to go through. I've been playing with some of the new product and making some really fun cards. Now I haven't shown you a card for a while and I figured you guys were feeling a little card deprived. So I actually have 2 cards that we're going to make together. And so, aren't these fun? I've been playing with like the window card, so that's one card we'll make. The other card that we're going to make is this one, and this one is called a double gatefold. I've shown you a gatefold before. Basically that means it folds in the middle and you have an image that's only glued to half. But this one's a surprise because it has 2 images that go apart and they kind of sneak behind each other like this. So it looks like one, but it's a surprise. So this one is kind of a double gatefold with a twist. And so I wanted to show you how to do that, and you can add that to your arsenal. You can make a template and then you'll have that in your how-to section of your cards. I hope you're doing that, by the way. I certainly do. I have this whole section in my cards and stuff where it is like a file almost of varieties of 3D and specialized cards, so that if I'm ever at a loss of what to do, I can just look through that and something will spark some kind of creativity. So the first thing we're going to do is make this card, and this double gatefold is real simple. It's your basic card base. You know, you take your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and chop it in half. So it's 5.5 by 4.25. 4.25 is when you would fold it, right? That's like a standard card. But you want to keep this one solid because we're going to fold it in a different place. So you want to find the middle, right? So I'm going to put it on my, I have this sheet out, which is basically like a ruler, right? So I'm going to put it across here, and it's 8.5 inches long, and I'm just going to make a little tick mark at that 4.25 mark. And then all I do is fold it into the center. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact even. I don't always measure. But for the people who really love to be precise, this is a great way to do it. Just mark that half, mark it at 4.25, and then fold into that little hash mark. And then erase it, or not. No one will ever notice, to be honest. So there is your gatefold card. Now, normally what you would do is you would just have a single image that you would put glue on one half, glue it down, and then that would be it, right? And it would open like a gate. But since we're going to do 2 images, I wanted to show you how to do that. So, and what the special secret is with this. Yeah, Heather, hi Heather, need to be precise. That cracks me up. I'm so not precise. I just sort of wing it most of the time. So one of the sets that I'm using here, I'm using the new thin cuts. These are the stitched hexagons, and there's different sizes, which means you can layer them and mat them and that kind of thing. This is nice because this is a hard shape to cut. I like when they come out with these that are difficult shapes, like triangles and stuff are difficult shapes. So I did that one, and the other thing is this super cute koala set. Let me see if I can show you. So everything in blue has a thin cut with it. So I have the thin cuts as well. And as you can see, I have cut like a whole bunch of little koala bears so that in the future, if I want to make a card, I have them all ready to go. I can just take them out, color them, and make a card. I am very lazy that way in that I like to have things done up ahead. For that matter, I probably should have just made a whole bunch of cards to start with. So this little set is really sweet. I'm going to show you on here because it's easier to see. But it has the little koala climbing the tree, the little baby koala sleeping, and how cute would that be for like a baby card, right? This one and this one are the ones we're using today. And then just the little sitting koala, which I'm sorry, but these are so cute. I had to have them. I know that they were trying to come out with some stamp sets that were appropriate for like the Australian, New Zealand market, but I'm like, okay, this is the first one I'm buying. So I went ahead and I cut out a couple of I cut out some of the stitched hexagons and some of the little koalas, and I put top quality hugs here with the little hearts. I thought those were really cute. I also kind of toyed around with using the new stitched brackets, which I don't know, when those folded together they look totally fine, but I wanted to use the hexagons. The other thing I want to show you is I just wanted to color these really quick and show you the markers again. Remember that as the Hostess Club, you can get, when it's your month as the bonus winner, you get to pick a half-off item, and this is a great item to get half off. So these markers are fun. I made a little cheat sheet and I colored in the different colors so that I wouldn't have to always be scribbling out the color to figure out which one I wanted to use. So it's really nice to be able to go, which green is closest? Oh look, that one, this dull green looks really nice with that paper. So I'm going to use that. And you know, do you want your koalas more of a brown gray or an icy gray, a blue gray? And it's nice to be able to look at the colors on a sheet like this. And if you need something like this, if you have the markers, let me know. So I just wanted to show you, we're going to color the tree. I usually start with the light color and just kind of color that in, and I'm sloppy. If you ever get a card from me where I have colored, you'll be like, you may not even notice, but I'm sloppy. I just am. So that chart was created by one of the Close to My Heart consultants, and I stole it. No, she actually allowed us to all download it, and I saved it, and I have permission to share. So if you would like it, it is awesome. I can just send it. You can print it out on some cardstock, and then I'm going to go back to the light and kind of blend in a little bit. Isn't that cute? And then I'll go ahead and do the leaves. So sometimes with the leaves, I just leave them one color, especially when they're this small. But they're so cute, and it's nice to have half of them one color, like on this one, add a little tiny bit of dimension, and then the dark line. And then you can go back in with the light if you want. If you're not happy, you know, like I kind of like having it just like that. It doesn't bother me at all. But some people are like, oh, that doesn't look natural. I need to blend it out a little bit. And so you can go back and scrub it in. Now the other thing that the Close to My Heart set comes with is a blending pen, and I think of it as like an eraser pen. It erases color, so if you put too much in an area, then you can go back and remove color from a section. So it won't make it totally white, but it will help if you've overcolored in a part. Or if you wanted to add a little highlight, sometimes you can use that. And I don't know, I haven't ever really, I feel like I'm starting to show the markers more. I'm getting more questions about them. And this is, I have to be honest, over the years, Close to My Heart has had, I don't know how many sets of markers, at least 6, maybe 7. I own every Tombow brush marker made. I own all the brush markers that were done by Close to My Heart that were flat. I own all of them that are round. I think there were 2 sets of those. I own all of the old zig markers. Remember the zigs? I own all of the, I own glitter markers. I think I own every Prismacolor. I own almost all of those. I sold almost all of my Copics because I like these. These are amazing. And I just cannot believe how easy these are, even compared to Copic. You know, with Copic, in order to get this shading thing, I feel like you have to have, like, when you watch people color, it's fascinating, like if you go to YouTube and watch them color, but, oh my God, they have to own like 30 colors. But here we go, there are 9 colors in here. There's 3 shades of this, 3 shades of this, 3 shades of this. I love it. So all my coloring now is done with the Spectrum Noir. So let's see. I'm moving my camera a little bit so I can read your remarks a little. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, try again. After I painted my house, I moved my camera setup around, and all right. So here's the deal. I'm gonna put these up here for a minute, and I want to do the front, decorate the front. And I want to use these panels, and these are just old from my scraps. They're not even Close to My Heart, eek, but I just had them in my scrap pile, and I thought they looked kind of neutral. So I have a couple of inks here, Paprika and New England Ivy. So Heather asked if the light colors pick up the dark colors, and they really don't. It's shocking. Now, if you're gonna, let me just get like a scrap paper here. So like if I'm gonna do a dark and then a medium, and then those don't look very different on camera, I realize, but they're really different in real life. And then I want to blend this whole thing together. Sometimes I'll start over here if I want it the lightest color. And then when I get here, I really smush it around. Because if you don't want a harsh line while you're coloring, I hope you can see that. Sometimes you gotta scribble on the line a little bit. But there you can see it just kind of goes from one shade to the next. It works really good. But yeah, you can go right on top. And see, it's still light. Anyway, I don't know if that was a good way to show you that, because that's a very light color. I just don't have very many colors out right now. Okay, so we're gonna use this New England Ivy. And what I did was I have the single leaf here and the double leaf on the other side of the block because I just wanted, I like to have all my stamps I'm using out on blocks, and I like to have them ready, but I don't always like to have 100 blocks out. So I just put them on both sides, and especially these where I'm just stamping kind of random. I am not trying to make any kind of pattern at all. I just want a random kind of pattern like this. It's not even a pattern. Okay. So there is my double, and then I'm going to go back in with my single and fill in that space. And make sure you have, whenever you random stamp, make sure you have some going off the edge like that. So, and remember, you know, the image will cover some of it, so it doesn't have to be totally perfect. And honestly, when you looked at this card, were you analyzing the leaves and how they were placed? No, I bet you weren't. Even Heather, who's super precise or whatever, I bet you were not looking at where the leaves were placed or how they were placed. You might now that I've said something. But anyway, so there's my leaf panels, right? I'm going to put this aside for a moment. And I'm using liquid glue today. Somebody, I think it was Denise, had mentioned that when she used this glue, she felt like she used too much of it and it splurted out everywhere. And this glue is really great, and I use very little of it and it works amazing. I mean, see how little is on there? And then what I like about it is for stuff like this where you're trying to kind of line it up even all the way around, it gives you just a smidge of work time before it dries so that you can wiggle your piece around. It gives you a moment. Where on one of the cards I made, on this one, I'll show you this one. I love this card, by the way. But do you see how I have this white thing on the edge? It's because I used my tape runner, and once it was down, man, there was no budging it. And I was like, all right, well, that one's gonna have a white stripe. That's just how it is. So I left it that way, and I really honestly doubt that someone's analyzing my card and going, oh my God, look how off she was or whatever. And I probably could have covered it up, but it drives me crazy. So I like the liquid glue a lot, okay? Now the next thing is the secret. So I have a pile of scraps over here. I just have a bunch of scrap papers that I always leave out on my kitchen counter. My cutting board is kind of out like a kitchen appliance in my kitchen. I know that's crazy, but it is true. So what we want is we need like a hinge, okay? So we don't want it taller than our image is going to be. But I'm just going to cut this in half. And I think I might make it just a smidgen shorter, just so I know it won't show. But we need a hinge for each side. Now this is a weird thing. I'm going to fold it in half. Heather, is your house ever going to be put back together again where you can play and craft? I feel bad for you. All right, so I see how I have it, like it's just folded in half lengthwise, and this will not show. You can use any scrap you have. If you have a hot pink scrap, this will not show. So you could use it. I mean, I just have a lot of white paper scraps sitting around. Since it's around my, you know how you trim things off. Anyway, so see how there's like a little hinge? What we want to do is we want to put them on our card so that they're in the center, because that's where my little image is going to go, right? I'm going to put it here. And the little fold, like a teepee or a mountain fold, is on the edge. Okay, so it's going to go like this. Can you see that? So let me just go ahead and put a little glue on. Come on. I put my glue down and now it's like, all right. See how I don't use very much. Okay, and then put it onto the edge of your fold, just like that. See that? Okay. Somebody tell me that you can see it okay, that it makes sense. Good? I don't see like, for some reason I don't see like all the hearts and stars and things as well as I do the messages. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Put a little glue. I feel like I'm going out of the camera range, sorry. And I'm going to put it on this side. Okay. All right. So these little hinges are going to be hidden. They're not even going to show. But I want to show you how to put this on. So normally on a gatefold, we would put glue on the entire half. Like we would put glue here, right? And then we would stick it down and the whole, like that, it would stick to that flap. But in this case, where we want them to crisscross together, we want to only put glue on this little flap. Do you see that? Glue on one side of the flap only. I'm going to lay this down where I want it, and I'm just going to push. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to make sure there's no glue spurting out. And look at that. Right? So the only place that is glued is on that little hinge. And when I flip the hinge, you can kind of see that's the only place it has, like, so it moves, right? Okay. Now, let's do the other side. Now, on the other side, I was going to do another green one, kind of like on my, well, now I almost have to because I did it weird. I was going to do it flat and make the two flat ones come together, but we're going to do the other green one, I guess. Okay, so, again, you're going to put glue only on that right side of that hinge, okay? Now, instead of just laying it on the hinge, you want to line it up with your other image. So I'm lining it up back to back here like this, okay? And then I'm going to close the whole card and then push, 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 push. So you can see now I have this one, and just make sure there's no excess glue. Now they crisscross, and there's flaps. They're only attached by the little hinge. Isn't that cute? What is a certificate of occupancy, Heather? I don't get it. Is that like when the city has to like approve your, like some kind of code thing or something? All right, I'm gonna put my little cute koalas hugging each other. Aren't they cute? just like that. And then I really want to put this message on here. I'm going to cut this. I'm gonna do some surgery to fix my weird error that I made. You guys are probably like, oh my God, this is like something I would do, right? Everybody does stuff like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and, since I already have this cut out, just like that. All right, so these two will crisscross. Now on the inside, there's this, I decided I wanted to put this really cute koala climbing and a little message that says, hang in there. I thought that was cute. So it's not very often that we take the time to decorate the inside of our cards. But I think, like a lot of my cards, if you look, are blank inside, and I like to write messages. Isn't that cute? I might put another one here too. I don't know if it'll show up very well. Ah, love it. This paprika color is interesting. It looks like brown, but it's almost, it's so orangey. It's like a really deep orange. So, and that, didn't that turn out nice? So there's the surprise. Wah. So if somebody's going through a rough time, I might send this to Steve's aunt. Top quality hugs here. Hang in there. Oh, it's so adorable. So that's card number 1. I think it's adorable. So, all right, let me move all my parts and pieces. Just in case you're wondering what other pun kind of messages there are, they have a sweet dreams, which would be good for this, like a baby card with the little stars. I've seen some, now that we have like the distress oxides in the catalog, people are making the very cool blended backgrounds and making like night skies and using these. You're the koalist. Ha! Like the coolest. Have a koality day. Thinking of you. You know, those are so cute. So cute. All right. Let's go to the next one. So I have been playing with this really fun window card. And the window, let me show you. This is basically the window thin cut, and it has all the parts just like it shows here. So you have like the window base, shutter, this little I don't know what they call that. It's not a cornice. It's like just little windows, and they can go, you know, above the window, just like that shows in that picture right there. I did not use them because I wanted some decorating space on my card. And then it has the top of the window and the bottom of the window. And so what I did was I got out my bag of mega scraps, and I just started cutting parts and pieces, and I threw them in here because I know that when I make these windows in the future, I do not want to have to get everything out. Like, I know I'm too lazy to get out my die cutting, my die cuts, my scraps, my stamps that I want to use in my window, plus the cards, plus the background, plus the, you know, honestly, please. So it's nice to have all of these pre-cut and ready to roll. Now the cool thing about the windows is you can be looking out the window like here. So this would be like the inside of the house, and you're looking out into the fall And that is transom. Is that called a transom? I have been trying to Google it for a while. Steve was making fun of me last night because I was trying to look up the name of those windows, and he goes, they usually are on the side of doors and the front doors, and I'm like, that is not the same thing as these little windows on top. Anyway, this is the autumn scene. There's also, you know, a winter scene and summer scene and spring scene, but I just think this is adorbs, and I had to use it. So I made a couple of basically the same set, the exact same card, where I did the tree with the little rake, the pile of leaves, a little bit of wind blowing, and then I just sort of did blue in the background, because if you were looking out the window, the sky would look blue. Message-wise, the one thing that these stamps right here are missing is a little message or something to go with them, like hello fall or something about autumn. I don't know. It's just missing something. So I went through my stash of old stamps. Of course I have messages. I am not like wanting for messages, but like this is an old Cricket collection stamp set, artfully sent, and it has like all of these different messages. And I used this Happy Halloween. I used this hello. I thought there was 2 or 3 of these that I thought would be appropriate, but it was just something I had that I haven't used for a while. This is another Cricket from the Artiste collection, and I used this Oh Happy Day. It seemed appropriate, and I thought, you know, either of these could just be thinking of you, or you know, happy, just anything. It could be happy birthday, it could be thank yous. So anytime you have, like, you see those sets that have like the millions of messages. We just recently had one as a stamp of the month a couple months ago. Think about getting it, especially if it's in a font that you enjoy, because you will pull that out and use it all the time, right? Now, the other thing I wanted to use, which I thought was really fun, is this little set. Let me see if there's a good way to show it. Geesh. Is a Halloween set, and it is so adorable. I think they made it for the thin cuts with the little circles or the little squares, because the little images fit perfectly in there. They're like 1-inch images. If you're into making the little inchy twinchy things, whatever, those would be really nice. But I wanted to use it with the window, and what's nice is there are a couple of little messages in there, and so I thought this one was really fun. I so this is a window where you're looking into the house, right, instead of the other way around. So the outside, I have the sky, I have the grass along the bottom with the cat and the pumpkin and the little message. I did a little bit of shimmer brush on there. I don't know if you can see it because, you know, lighting and everything, but I really love using the shimmer brush. It says hello beautiful. I think it's so cute, and it was really fun to do the window in, you know, Halloween colors. And then the other Halloween one that I made is this one, again, Halloween colors. This pattern is from a very old, close to my heart pack. I can't even remember which one it is, but I think it was an autumn one. But I did the shutters in green, and this time I did the little Dracula. So cute. Now the only pain is I cut out all the little pumpkins. I cut them out. Now the other thing I did when I stamped these is I made a little mask of the pumpkin. Remember that when you're stamping multiples, in order to, you don't stamp the thing behind first and build it. You stamp the thing in front, cover it up, stamp the image again, and then when you remove your mask, it looks like it's behind it. I hope that makes sense. So I cut a little mask that I have used multiple times now, and I will keep it with this stamp set because I don't want to ever do it again, right? And then I thought what would really be fun is if we made a card together. And so I kind of started making it myself. I used some blue and gray ink and I just sponged it. I stamped that cute little moon and clouds right there. Right there, and I colored in the moon. Now, to make the back of the window itself measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. It's a perfect square, and so I cut this to 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. I know it's hard to think of measurements if you're not a measurer person, but I basically kind of looked at the window and I tried to eyeball like what, you know, where I would put this at. One thing I noticed is when you glue your background on, it doesn't matter if a little bit of it shows. So let's say you get everything off kilter and you have to glue it like this and some of it shows over here. It doesn't matter because by the time you put your shutters on and stuff, it just won't show. The main thing is that you have some images showing. So you could have them anyway. So I did go ahead and I colored this and I sponged the background so it looks like there's some color on the wall, right? I was gonna make it bright, like blue or something, and then I was like, what am I thinking? This is Halloween. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere that down. And again, just a little bit of glue. I want to leave a little room at the top for the top of the window, and I really want to decorate the bottom of this one. So I'm kind of putting it a little close to the top. I know my moon is going to end up getting covered just a little. Oh well. Now, the other thing I decided to do with this one to make it different, normally I decided to make it a shaker, and I'm going to show you, I use like the super thin foam, and I kind of want to double it. So I'm going to peel this off. The first thing you do when you want to make a shaker is put plastic down. Now, I have all kinds of packaging everywhere. I have, you know, like the little, gosh, I'm looking for something to show you. The little envelope like this that the thin cuts come in, that's what I used. I just cut it into like a 3 1/2 by 3 or 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square, and I glued it onto the back of the window. Okay, so that's why my window looks kind of flimsy. If I used the acetate that Close to My Heart sells, it would be more beautiful. But this is what I did. And then I pounced on it a little bit with my powder because this stuff is so incredibly staticky. It is just crazy static. So now I'm gonna make a double layer. So I am just putting, this is that super thin quarter inch foam tape. I could have cut it down. This is like old school shakers. This is how I made them, like, you know, 20 years ago or whatever, when they first became popular, was using foam tape. instead of my die cutter. But you know, you can use your die cutter and you can cut this out and make it window shaped. You could use the window die cut. All right, so now I have it a little bit thicker, which I like that. And I'm going to adhere, I'm going to adhere the window on here, but I need to add my shaker. So before I do that, I want to show you the fun. These are the Close to My Heart sequins. Now, everybody knows sequins are staticky as all get out. Oh my gosh, they're horrible. I took a class not very long ago, and the lady sent this huge bag of red and green sequins, and I have sequins all over my house now because this is how she sent them, in a baggie. And they just, as soon as you open them up, they suck onto your fingers and they're all over your space. So that's a little annoying. So I took my anti-static pouch and I sprinkled it inside and I shook it around to try to get some of the static off. That's why my package looks kind of cloudy. The other thing that I thought would be kind of fun is to glue one, if I can get my glue going again, is to glue one pumpkin down so that it's not shaking around in the window. I thought that would be kind of fun. So I'm putting just a little bit of glue on the back, and I'm going to put it right here so it'll look like it's sitting in the window. Cute, right? I think that's cute. Okay, so the other thing we need to do is to make a pile of shaker stuff in the center. And I really want some of this really small stuff. I noticed the small stuff has a tendency to kind of get to the bottom here. So I'm pulling out some of the littler things that I can get my fingers on. Okay, so we have lots of shaker material there. And now I am ready. This is like the moment of truth because I'm peeling off the foam tape. And I'm gonna stick it down. Since I put my anti-static pouch all over this window, sometimes the powder kind of shows, and other times, but if it keeps my shaker material from sticking everywhere, that's nice. So, all right, I am gonna put that down like that, and then, okay, have my window stuck. Shake, shake, shake. Isn't that cute? I like the spiders in there. It's creepy, man. All right. And get off at the side. All right. So there's that. Now I'm going to build the rest of my window. So I'm going to use the black shutters, and I think I'm going to use the purple at the top and bottom. So basically, I could pop these up, but I am just going to glue them down. Just like this. Like I said, I knew some of that would cover up my moon, but I'm okay with that. And like I said, I like how the liquid glue gives me just a little give. Now, the shutters, I'm going to put on the windows like this. So, since these are popped up, I could put foam tape behind them, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to put them on like this. Like I could put, you know, a couple pieces of foam tape there. Oh, stuck to my fingers. Okay, so shutters are on. Isn't it cute? Now, if we still need something at the bottom, and so what I did was I made some grass. I'd had these green scraps in my stash, and I want to show you how to do that. Let me grab another scrap. Okay, now I know this isn't green like grass, but I want to show you how I did this. So I just kind of cut like this, all right, all the way across. And you kind of want it uneven. I mean, grass isn't even. You don't want it to be like a hair, like the bangs that are straight across, right? So then I start snipping in a little sideways this way and a little sideways this way. Kind of like how your hairdresser cuts your hair so it's not perfect, right? And then you just scruff it up and get rid of all these little loosey pieces. All right, so then see you have like what looks like scruffy grass. And I made it 2 layers. So I made one of them like, I don't know, it's 1¼ inch or so and about a 3/4 inch or so. And I'm gonna layer those together, but I wanna be able to tuck my cute little pumpkins in there a little bit. So I'm not gonna just glue it all down. I'm just gonna glue the edge here. Like that. And then put my other scruffy grass on. You might think, God, so much work. What a pain. And in a way it is. There is a Martha Stewart brand scissor specifically to cut these little strips like this. Cuts. I have it. It's like a grass scissor, and it's fun. But I just think, I don't know, this ends up being a little less perfect, and I think it looks really nice. So now I'm going to glue this down. See how that scruffy, it really does look like grass. Now I have these little pumpkins that I colored earlier, and I have this little message. And I could just put the message on, but I like these little pumpkins and I want them tucked into the grass. So I'm gonna glue these. I'm gonna tuck like that. I think they're cute. And then I'm gonna put the message down. It's a little big, and then ta-da! What do you think? Is it adorable? I think it's cute. I almost lost my second layer of grass. I should have made this smaller. It's so cute though, and it turned out really nice. See, now I need to decorate the inside. Do you love it? I hope you love it. That is what I have today. If you have any questions about anything I've shown you, just email me and let me know, and I can show you again, or I can show you where that's at in the catalog. Super cute. Have a good day.